Gigwalk's Matt Crampton has a posse more than 250,000 strong. Blue Jeans Network tries to make teleconferencing funny, and brand new venture capitalist Jerry Chen checks in. Our reporters Levi Sumagaisai, editor of Mercury News blog Silicon Beat, and Chris Primesberger of eWeek, this week on Press Here.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott McGrew. I got a job offer the other day, and I took it. A job no one, including my boss, knew I had, for which I was paid $10.
The job involved walking into a beauty supply store in Silicon Valley and documenting tweezers, tweezers, so the manufacturer could see if they were stocked properly. It took about 5 minutes. I picked up the extra work through an app called Gigwalk. It turns out gig walkers are all around us, regular folks with regular jobs and a smartphone doing small tasks for a little extra pocket money. A mobile workforce of more than 300,000 users and growing, all controlled by a small startup in San Francisco.
Matt Crampton is one of 3 Gigwalk founders, all former Yahoo engineers. CNN calls the company brilliant. Fast Company says it's one of the most innovative companies in mobile. Joined by Chris Primesberger of eWeek and Levi Sumagaisai of Silicon Beat as well. Well, this seems fairly straightforward. This is one of those apps I got immediately. It sees what's around me. It says somebody somewhere needs you to do XYZ. And for that, we'll pay you $5. It really is that simple.
Absolutely, it is. We talk about it like it's a temp agency on top of cell phones. So, yeah, the way it works, companies will post jobs on Gigwalk, and a job might be something like, I need you to go take a picture of a menu at a restaurant, or maybe it's, I need you to go fold T-shirts at the supermarket, and then people who want to get paid doing that work will go install the Gigwalk app. Or on iPhone, we just launched our Android app. And then you'll be presented with pins all over a map. Each of those pins are individual jobs that need to be completed. The person will go apply to that work. Once they're accepted, they'll go travel to the location, do the job, and then they get paid once they're complete.
This came to you at Yahoo. I read somewhere that you were sending literal phone books, the actual yellow pages to what, China or something, right?
We weren't doing it, but right, yeah.
Okay, and they would go through and they would essentially key in all the information that were in the yellow pages. It's open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Yep.
And now you have somebody just take a picture of the open
restaurants.
sign.
Yeah, restaurants will go out of business 10% a month. And so for the listings that we had for, this is a pizza restaurant, this is a sushi restaurant, they'd be out of date so fast.
The sushi restaurant would be the pizza restaurant.
Yeah, right. And they were getting this data from companies that would send yellow pages to get transcribed. And so they'd be so out of date. And so, yeah, the idea was, well, we've got all these people running around the world with smartphones. Why can't we go build a platform on top of them and go and push work out for them to go and do things like collect data? And then once we started doing that, we realized that these people were highly capable. These are people that are working part-time jobs. Today, maybe you're a barista at Starbucks, or maybe you're a real estate agent. You've got this extra time. Why can't we go utilize it not just for doing data collection kinds of things, but actual real work kinds of things?
So how does someone apply?
So the way that works is that when you download the app, anybody can go and download. They'll fill out a couple of pieces of personal information, and then immediately you get access to kind of the first tier of jobs inside of Gigwalk. So these will be jobs that might take you 10 minutes to do, but the thing with those is that somebody will go out and do maybe 10 or 15 of those at a time. And then once you've proven yourself inside of our system, and what's happening in the back end is that we're watching you while you're doing that work. We're figuring out, are you doing the work that you said that you were going to do? How well did you do it? What kinds of work are you demonstrating that you're good at? Maybe you're good at taking photos, or maybe you're good at following super complex sets of instructions to go and do work that might take you an hour of time to go and do. Once we've learned some information about you, we feel that you're a reliable worker, then we start giving you more complex but higher paying jobs in our system.
So what do you do with all these analytics and all these reports when you're finished with them? You resell them to businesses, or what?
The businesses actually order them, right?
That's right. That's exactly
so Yelp
right, yeah.
says go out and take pictures of coffee shops, or what? Maybe not Yelp.
Yeah,
but,
so a lot of our customers are either merchandisers or they're manufacturers. So you take somebody like Reckitt Benckiser, who makes French's mustard and Durex condoms and Airwick air fresheners, those kinds of things. They need people to go to, for example, every Walmart in the country to figure out whether their product product is still on store shelves? Is it out of stock? Is there anybody that needs to go and reorder? And so they'll post jobs on Gigwalk, and they'll need somebody to go to every Walmart, 4,000 places that they need to get done. They need that done in 24 hours.
How does the politeness of this, the social of this work? When you walk into a store, I didn't mention anything to the beauty supply store. But should I have announced myself and said, "Hello, I am from Gigwalk. So I am here to check your stock."
So every gig is different. Most of the time, the manufacturer that's posting the jobs already has an arrangement with the store that you're going into.
They know that the Gigwalkers are coming in.
Sending workers to go, and in fact, like, these people are taking the place of what a traditional merchandiser would do. It's just the fact that these merchandising companies they've used traditionally just aren't big enough to do the kinds of work that these guys need to do now. And Gigwalk's in the U.S., they're in Canada, we're in Puerto Rico now, and also in the U.K. And so the kind of reach means that they can come to us and send people kind of everywhere.
So how exactly do you track how good a job they're doing?
Well, it's along a bunch of different dimensions. So we look at how long were you on site while you were doing the work? What was the kind of work you were being asked to do? Maybe it was folding T-shirts at a Walmart or something like that. Or maybe it was, I need you to go through and scan the barcodes on every bottle of vitamins on this huge shelf. It might take you 4 hours to go and do that. And then we look at, well, how well did you do that job? So everything that gets done inside of Gigwalk, we have a team that's looking at all the work that's being completed while it's happening, making sure that everybody's doing a good job. If we have a question, or maybe we need you to change something that you might have done wrong, you can communicate back and forth with our customer service people in real time. They're messaging back and forth with you.
Okay.
All of that's happening inside of the app. So while you're doing the work, you're getting real-time feedback on how you're doing.
I've heard this called labor metrics, and you get a little pushback on this. I mean, not everybody thinks this is a great idea, which I don't understand. Either you can do a job or you can't, and if you can measure that,
yeah,
well, then
I think
fine.
so. I think there's been a little bit of controversy. I think we get looped into a lot of the other things where, you're getting tracked while you're browsing websites, or somebody's looking to see what kinds of friends you have, and then they're targeting products to you. We don't do that kind of thing. Well, the things that we're looking at are while you're on the job, while you're working, you're getting paid per hour. Gigwalkers get paid between $10 and $15 an hour. What we're doing is we're watching to see how well you're doing and what kinds of jobs you seem to do well at. And what that does is it lets us match the kinds of jobs that you do well to you, which makes you be successful. It makes you be able to do very good work, and you get more.
Let me stop there, Matt. We've got about a minute left. Chris, I cut you off. Let's let you have it.
I was just going to say, have you, with all your hundreds of thousands of minions that you have working for you, do you have anybody that is really doing this like full time almost, or what? Or is it possible?
So we love our Gigwalkers. They're amazing folks, and they do some amazing things. We got folks doing 1,000, 2,000 jobs over a calendar year running around doing this. I think 60% of folks have another job. They're doing this as a second paycheck. And then we've got some folks that try to do it full time. So
Matt, I want to follow up with two quick questions. Number one, I am walking into the store and I'm hit by a car and killed. Am I a Gigwalk employee?
So you're an independent contractor to us.
Okay, and there's click-through language in which I've agreed to this sort of
that's right.
Sort of thing.
I mean, it's all very above the board. We'll issue you tax documents at the end of the year for the work that you've done, and then you report it to the IRS, just like you were a plumber or something like that.
No, that makes sense. Yep. Second question is, what's the weirdest Gigwalk job out there?
Oh, it's interesting. We had a genealogy website that had Gigwalkers going and cataloging gravestones at cemeteries for the genealogy website. We had another one where people were going and cataloging where plugs were in airports, so that somebody would be able to go and
somebody
find
could put them on a website and explain it to them.
Yeah.
Real quick, how many Gigwalkers do you have?
So we have, just this morning, 355,000 Gigwalkers we've got now.
Matt Crampton, 355,000 minions in his Gigwalk. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely, thank you.
Jerry Chen, the newest partner at Greylock Partners, when Press Here continues.